The discovery. The research vessel Luminous Seeker orbited Earth silently, its advanced cloaking technology rendering it invisible to human detection systems. Inside the main laboratory, Dr. Vexera adjusted her ocular enhancers as she examined the latest DNA sample collected from the planet below. Her slender six-fingered hands moved with practiced precision across the holographic interface. "Anything interesting today, Doctor?" asked Commander Zrel as he entered the lab. His scaled skin reflected the blue light of the displays, creating a subtle rainbow effect. "Just routine analysis," Vexera replied without looking up. "These humans seem rather ordinary compared to other Class 3 species we studied." The Galactic Consortium had classified Earth as merely another developing world, one of thousands in this sector alone. The Luminous Seeker had been tasked with standard biological profiling before moving on to more promising systems. It was supposed to be a 3-week mission at most. As the quantum sequencer completed its analysis of the human DNA, Vexera reached for her stimulant drink. The bitter liquid helped her stay alert during these monotonous tasks. She glanced at the screen, expecting the usual report. Instead, a warning symbol flashed. The sequencer had found something it couldn't categorize. "That's strange," she murmured, setting down her drink. Her 4 eyes narrowed as she expanded the display. "Computer, verify these results and compare with established genetic databases." The system hummed softly. "Verification complete. No matches found in any known species profile." Commander Zrel moved closer. "What have you found?" "I'm not entirely sure," Vexera said, her voice betraying rare excitement. "This sequence here, it doesn't match anything in our records. It appears to be related to cellular regeneration, but the structure is unlike anything I've seen." She isolated the mysterious genetic sequence, enhancing it until it filled the central display. The complex spiraling pattern pulsed with an almost hypnotic rhythm. "Run a simulation," she commanded. "I want to see what this does." The computer created a virtual cell with the unusual genetic sequence activated. Vexera and Zrel watched in silence as the simulation progressed. The virtual cell was subjected to radiation, toxins, physical trauma, conditions that would destroy normal cellular structures. Instead of dying, the cell adapted. It repaired itself. It evolved. "Impossible," Zrel whispered. "Computer, confirm these aren't simulation errors," Vexera said, her professional detachment slipping. "No errors detected. Simulation is functioning within expected parameters." Vexera's breathing quickened. "We need more samples. Different humans, different regions." Over the next 3 days, the ship's collection drones gathered hundreds of additional samples from across Earth. Hair, skin cells, discarded items containing human DNA. The consortium's strict non-interference protocols meant they could only collect what humans had already discarded, but it was enough. Every sample showed the same pattern. "They all have it," Vexera said to the assembled research team. "Every human on this planet carries this genetic complex. I'm calling it the resilience complex." Her colleague Dr. Thrym, a gelatinous being whose translucent body contained visible neural pathways, pulsed with skepticism. "What exactly does this complex do?" Vexera activated the main display. "It allows them to survive conditions that would kill most other species. Their cells can repair damage from radiation, toxins, physical trauma, at rates that defy our understanding of biology." "That shouldn't be possible," said Dr. Thrym. "Look at their planet," Vexera continued, bringing up images of Earth. "Extreme temperature variations from polar regions to deserts. Atmospheric oxygen levels that would be toxic to most species. Solar radiation. Thousands of pathogens. Gravity 30% stronger than standard habitable worlds. By our classification system, Earth is a death world." The term hung in the air. Death worlds were rare, planets with conditions so harsh that complex life, let alone intelligent species, shouldn't evolve there. The consortium had catalogued only 17 such worlds in explored space, and none had produced sapient life. We need to report this to the Council, Commander Zrel said finally. This changes everything about how we view humans. 2 weeks later, Vexra stood before the Galactic Council's Science Division. The 14 representatives of the most advanced species in known space listened as she presented her findings. The implications are profound, she concluded. Humans have evolved in conditions that would kill most of us within days. Their cellular resilience gives them capabilities we previously thought impossible for biological organisms. Elder Xorix, whose crystalline body sparkled under the chamber lights, spoke first. Are they a threat to the consortium? They're not technologically advanced enough to pose an immediate threat, Vexra replied. They've barely left their own atmosphere. But their adaptability is concerning. Explain, said Elder Xorix. Their historical records show remarkable recovery from catastrophes that would have ended most civilizations. Plagues, wars, natural disasters. They'd rebuild, adapt, and often grow stronger. This resilience isn't just physical, it's psychological and social. Elder Galcine, a being of pure energy contained within an environmental suit, pulsed brightly. You're suggesting their very biology makes them dangerous. I'm suggesting they're unlike anything we've encountered before, Vexra said carefully. Their biology makes them survivors. Whether that makes them dangerous depends on them. And on us. The council chamber fell silent as the implications settled. Humans weren't just another species. They were fundamentally different from the established understanding of intelligent life in the galaxy. We should terminate them before they become a problem, said Elder Droog, whose species had evolved in the most protected environments known to the consortium. That would violate our most fundamental principles, countered Elder Xorix. We observe and evaluate. We do not destroy potential. The debate continued for hours. Finally, Elder Galcine spoke. We will triple the observation resources for Earth. Dr. Vexra will continue her research with expanded capabilities. We need to understand these humans before they leave their world and join the galactic community. As the council session ended, Vexra found herself both excited and troubled. The discovery should have been the crowning achievement of her career, but instead, she felt a growing unease. Doctor, Commander Zrel said, approaching her as she prepared to return to the Luminous Seeker. The Council is concerned about security. Your research will be classified at the highest level. Vexra nodded. I understand. There's something else, Zrel continued. The Council wants you to develop countermeasures, just in case. Countermeasures, Vexra repeated. Against humans. Against the resilience complex, Zrel clarified. If they ever become hostile, we need to know their weaknesses. Vexra walked to the observation deck and looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, Earth turned, its inhabitants completely unaware that they had just been classified as one of the most fascinating and potentially dangerous species in the galaxy. What will happen when they learn what they truly are? She wondered aloud. The stars offered no answer. First contact. Dr. Elijah Chen rubbed his tired eyes as he reviewed the data for the 1000th time. The small observatory outside Beijing housed equipment of his own design, sensors far more sensitive than anything officially acknowledged by the scientific community. For 3 years, he had been tracking anomalies in Earth's orbit, objects that appeared and disappeared from conventional detection systems. You're still chasing ghosts, Elijah? Dr. Lin Wei asked, placing a cup of coffee beside him. They're not ghosts, Elijah said without looking up. Something is there. Why? Something that doesn't want to be seen. On his screen, the faint gravitational distortion appeared again, exactly where it had been yesterday and the day before. Too precise to be natural, too persistent to be equipment malfunction. I've isolated the pattern, he said, pulling up a new display. Whatever it is, it's collecting something. The distortions always occur in populated areas, then return to this position in orbit. Wei sighed. Even if you're right, what can you do about it? Elijah smiled. I can say hello. That night, Elijah calibrated his quantum pulse emitter, a device he built based on theoretical physics that most of his colleagues considered fringe science. The pulse wouldn't harm whatever was up there, but it would temporarily disrupt any advanced cloaking technology he could imagine. "Here goes nothing," he muttered, and activated the emitter. The pulse was invisible, silent, and by conventional science, impossible. Elijah held his breath as he watched his sensors. For 3 seconds, nothing happened. Then his detection system lit up like a Christmas tree. "My God," he whispered. The object in orbit was massive, at least 400 meters long. The shape was unmistakably artificial, with curves and angles that spoke of advanced engineering. For 30 seconds, it was completely visible to his sensors before the cloaking technology compensated for the disruption. Elijah's hand shook as he saved the data. He had just confirmed the existence of an alien vessel observing Earth. On the luminous seeker, alarms blared as systems temporarily failed. Commander Zrel rushed to the bridge. "What happened?" he demanded. "We've been scanned," the tactical officer reported. "Some kind of quantum pulse. Our cloaking systems were compromised for 27 seconds. "Impossible," Zrel said. "Human technology isn't advanced enough for that." Dr. Vexera entered the bridge, her expression grim. "Don't underestimate them, Commander. I've been warning about this." "Can they track us?" "The pulse originated from a research facility in China," the officer reported. "It was targeted directly at our position." Zrel and Vexera exchanged looks. After 2 years of observation, their cover was blown. "Contact the Council," Zrel ordered. "We need instructions." 3 days later, the luminous seeker decloaked above Beijing in full daylight. The ship's appearance caused global panic, military mobilizations, and crashed financial markets. Every human communication channel overflowed with the news. "We are not alone." The consortium had decided that since humans now knew of their presence, formal contact was the only option. The alternative, destroying all evidence, including Dr. Chen, had been considered and rejected. The humans' resilience complex made them too valuable to eliminate. Dr. Elijah Chen stood alongside world leaders as the alien delegation emerged from their shuttle. Leading them was a tall, slender being with 4 eyes and 6-fingered hands. Her skin shimmered with an iridescent blue. "I am Dr. Vexera of the Galactic Consortium," she said through a translation device. "We come in peace, though not by choice." The UN Secretary General stepped forward. "What do you mean, not by choice?" "We were studying your species discreetly," Vexera explained. Dr. Chen's ingenious device forced our hand. All eyes turned to Elijah, who stood straighter. "You've been watching us." "Why?" "Because you're impossible," Vexera said simply. "By all the laws of biology we understand, your species shouldn't exist." The first official meeting between humans and aliens took place in a hastily prepared conference room at the United Nations. Dr. Vexera explained what her team had discovered: the resilience complex, Earth's classification as a death world, and humanity's unique place in the galactic hierarchy. "Most intelligent species evolve on gentle worlds," she explained, showing holographic images of alien home planets. "Low gravity, filtered sunlight, stable temperatures, few pathogens. Earth is the opposite of that." "So we're special because we're tough?" asked the Russian president skeptically. "You're special because you're survivors," Vexera corrected. "Your capacity to endure and adapt exceeds anything in our records." Elijah leaned forward. "You've been afraid of us." Vexera's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "Cautious. Your history shows both remarkable compassion and shocking violence. A species with your physical resilience and your emotional volatility is concerning." "We want to understand you better," added Commander Zrel. "The consortium proposes a cultural and scientific exchange." The negotiations lasted weeks. Eventually, an agreement was reached. 50 human volunteers would visit the luminous seeker for testing and cultural exchange. In return, the consortium would share limited technology, medicine, and clean energy production. Elijah Chen was among the first humans to board the alien vessel. The testing began gently: physical examinations, cognitive assessments, stress responses. But as the humans consistently outperformed expectations, the tests became more challenging. "This is remarkable," Vexra said as she reviewed the results. "Your endurance exceeds our models by 40%. Your tissue regeneration is unprecedented." "Is that why the tests keep getting harder?" Elijah asked. "Yesterday you had me running in a high-gravity chamber until I collapsed." "We need to understand your limits," Vexra replied. "Or you're looking for weaknesses," Elijah suggested. Vexra's skin color shifted slightly. What Elijah had learned was their equivalent of a blush. "Both," she admitted. "The consortium is divided on how to proceed with humanity. Some of you think we're dangerous. Some of us think you're the future," Vexra countered. "Your resilience complex could revolutionize medicine throughout the galaxy. But others fear what happens when a Deathworld species joins interstellar society." Tensions peaked 3 months into the exchange program when consortium security forces quarantined the human visitors. A faction within the Galactic Council had voted to classify humans as a potential threat, requiring containment protocols. "This is imprisonment," Elijah argued during an emergency meeting with Vexra. "You promised cultural exchange, not captivity." "It's temporary," Vexra insisted, "until the Council reaches a final decision. And if they decide we're too dangerous to be free." Vexra didn't answer. That night, the human delegation demonstrated exactly why the consortium feared them. Using improvised tools and exploiting security weaknesses no one had anticipated, they escaped confinement and seized control of a communication array. Elijah broadcast a message to Earth, revealing everything they had learned about the consortium's divided intentions. Commander Zrel was furious. "Do you realize what you've done? The Council will see this as proof of human volatility." "We see it as proof of our right to self-determination," Elijah replied calmly. "Your consortium has 2 choices now: treat us as equals or as enemies. Choose wisely." The standoff lasted 3 tense days. Finally, Elder Galcine arrived personally to negotiate. The energy being observed the humans with obvious fascination. "Your actions were predictable," Galcine said to Elijah. "Exactly what a Deathworld species would do when threatened. But your restraint was not. You could have taken hostages. You didn't." "We want peace," Elijah said, "but not at the cost of our freedom." Galcine pulsed thoughtfully. "Perhaps we've been asking the wrong questions. We've focused on what makes humans dangerous. Dr. Vexra, what makes them valuable?" Vexra stepped forward. "Their adaptability, their creativity under pressure, their capacity to thrive in conditions that would destroy most species, the very traits we feared could make them exceptional allies." The resolution came gradually. The consortium would recognize Earth as a sovereign world. Limited technological exchange would continue. Humans would eventually join the galactic community not as subjects, but as partners. "Your resilience complex evolved to help you survive Earth," Vexra explained to Elijah as they watched the final treaty being signed. "But I believe it will help all of us survive the challenges ahead." Elijah smiled. "That's the thing about resilience. It's not just about enduring hardship. It's about growing stronger because of it." As the luminous seeker prepared to depart, now in open communication with Earth governments, Vexra found herself reflecting on how quickly everything had changed. The species they had feared might now be their greatest hope. "We'll be watching you, Dr. Chen," she said as they parted. "I know," Elijah replied with a grin. "And this time, we'll be watching back."